coworker wanted absolutely to come and meet you and share her huge experience gained over her long career. To keep things short, she started as intern at Xerox and ended up as CEO in 2009. And she was at that time heralded as the first black woman to lead a Standard & Poor's 500 company. She also served as head of the White House National Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics program for President Obama. She's the current chairwoman of the global CEO advisory firm Teneo. Please, s'il vous plaît, faites un maximum de bruit, make some noise for Ursula Burns. Yeah, Ursula, that's for you. That's just for you. Bonsoir, Ursula. Hello, Ursula. How are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I wish I was there, but the strike made it very difficult. Sorry.
Tell me what time is it in your country?
It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. So, first question. Let's start. In your exceptional career paths, you both had to face gender stereotypes and glass ceiling. What young woman and lady can learn from your experience? Ursula, first.
I thought about this a lot. I get asked this question a lot. And I have 4 pieces of advice. And I think this applies at any age or any stage in your career or your life. First is don't shy away from science, technology, engineering, and math. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, your career, these skills, understanding some of the basics in these areas are required for advancement in just about anything. Someone said earlier, I think it was you, Christel, that said you have to be able to use a smartphone. I mean, if you literally cannot survive in the world anymore and not be engaged with STEM. If you're younger, I say don't shy away from it in an educational standpoint. Study it. If you get passionate about it, literally pursue it as a career option for yourself. Number 2, across the board, speak up. Number 2, speak up. Women often sit quietly, even if they know the answer, even if they know better than the men in the room, they sit quietly and don't participate actively and don't take their rightful place in the conversation, in the decision-making, in the power structures of companies, schools, organizations in general. Speak up. By the way, in order for you to speak up, you absolutely have to know something. So I say read, get involved, get up to speed about what's happening, not only in your workplace, but in the world. So number 1, don't shy away from STEM. Number 2, speak up and get involved. Number 3, work really hard. This is something that you cannot avoid. Particularly, I hear this a lot. People want to actually be there, wherever there is, but they don't want to put the effort into working really hard to become very good at what they do. And then 4th is reach out and accept input. So reach out. If you see things going on in the organizations that you are involved in, that you're interested in, if you hear things that are interesting to you, literally raise your hand and try to get involved. Ask about what's happening so that you can actually expand your basis. And when people want to talk to you and give you advice, please listen up. Listen up and take it in. Make sure that you reach out and get involved. And then the final thing is know the facts and data about your organization. I talk to this a lot, particularly in work environments. People often talk about the fact that they are engaged in diversity, gender diversity, they're really passionate about it, and then ask them, so what is the performance of the organization? How many women are on your boards of directors? How many women are in your management committees? How many women are running key projects, et cetera? What's your promotion rate for women? What's your promotion rate for minorities? So know the data, know what's happening in your organization so you can be well informed and hopefully help them to do better.
Christel, I'm asking you the same question. If you want to add something, you can look at this camera, just here.
Well, I think, I mean, the four things are absolutely right, and I think the work hard, yes. I mean, that there's no magic. But there are a few things I would add, maybe, and to be a bit more on the soft side. Make sure you wake up every morning having fun and being willing to go to work. And I think that's something that, because of course you have to work hard, of course you have to reach out, of course you have to, learn, etc. But I think we only have one life, and my advice, and I've met with many women who are working hard, who are actually sometimes doing the work on behalf of other people, and they are not indeed speaking up, but actually they don't dare also moving out of the comfort zone and saying, well, why not change, and why not pick another organization? And I know it's not easy, because of course you can have economic dependence, so there are many things. But as much as you can, make sure that if you're not enjoying, speak up, or at least, and I've seen my own experience and other people, sometimes just speaking up and saying, well, you know what, I don't think I'm included in the team, or I think there are things that are not correct. So obviously, you need to find the right environment to do that, not in front of a board meeting or very important decision meeting. But there are ways to making your points so that every day you go to work, you work with your colleagues, and you feel included, you're happy, because otherwise, my advice is change job or change your boss.
If I may add, I'm so happy you brought in this point about joy and happiness. Literally, this is the foundation for anyone to really progress. If you're in an environment that you are unhappy or not valued, as my husband used to tell me, get another job. That's the best way to do it.
So please enjoy my last question, ladies. According to you, what companies or institutions should do to foster diversity and inclusion at all levels, Christel?
Well, there's not one magic recipe, and I think all companies are trying many things, and it starts by having leaders who really mean what they talk about. Because, as Ursula was saying, every company is engaged, and especially if you're in a country like France, where, gender diversity is something that every company wants to make sure that we promote. But then there's authenticity or not within companies. So you need a CEO who's really committed. You need an organization that's really measuring, because you can't improve things that you don't measure. So you need KPIs. And then you need to work hard on biases in the organization. You need indeed to move the needle. And there's no one magic recipe. It's how you recruit people, how do you develop people, how do you make sure that when women are in their 30s, whatever, when they want to have children, that they have also an incentive to manage their professional and personal life, and that they are willing to come back to work after they have a child. And then it's also the biases in the organization. Every time you promote someone, what signal do you send to the organization? Do you have men and women on shortlist for any jobs? And indeed, because women tend to be more shy, quiet, they don't raise their hand, they will never ask for a job. So if you don't reach out, and that's what HR organization and leaders have to do in a company, it's make sure that you put a system that goes against all the biases that by design exist in any organization. And then it's recruit more women, develop, and make sure that you train leaders, men and women, on why it's important and why it's a lot more efficient and impactful for companies to have diverse team. Men, women, gender diversity is obviously important, but it's also about passport diversity, seniority. There are many, many other things than just gender diversity, of course.
Ursula, what do you think about?
I think that one of the reasons why I was really excited to come over was to meet you, Christel, in person, because you're so right on all of the points that you said. I would just add one more, and that is to say that organizations and forums like the one that you are sitting in right now, Hello Women, where women come together and literally gain strength from each other, learn from each other, actually show men and the world and other women that there is a powerful force out there that wants to be included. It's really an important thing as well to understand. When I was coming through my career, I remember saying that we had two jobs. One was to do our job, and the other was to help to push and pull women through the organization. It is really important that all that Christel said is true. You got to work hard, you got to listen, all that stuff, but also literally these forums are important to continue going to and continue sharing good practices and strength from each other to keep pushing. We're making progress. Think about the fact that Orange has a female CEO. It's amazing. Congratulations. But that is just a tip of the iceberg, right? And the fact that she's here is actually amazing there as well. The tip of the iceberg. Keep working together to move forward. And I think, it'll be slow, not as slow as it was in the past. But if we keep working together, we can speed it up a bit.
Thank you very much. Thank you, mesdames, for your tough and your fruitful experience.